spectacular night. If you want to have a ticket, you better buy it now. Although we will be opening up the upstairs as much as we need to, so there will be seats for everyone, but if you want to be up close, you're going to have to grab one of the few tickets that are left. We are here, of course, to have our final press conference for the big challenge, Tomasz Adamek versus Big Michael Grant. The venue, as always, is Prudential Center. We love Prudential Center. We can't say it enough. We want to do every fight there if we can from now on. And to talk to you about Prudential Center, I'm going to bring up Michael Colossi.
Hi, thank you, Candy. On behalf of my colleague Danielle, Prudential Center, we want to thank Main Events and all the partners and sponsors for the big challenge coming up on Saturday. And as she alluded to, if you haven't attended a Brick City Boxing Series fight before, they're full of energy and they're tremendous, and no different, of course, from just a dominant grand fight on Saturday. So we do urge you to go to Ticketmaster via phone or online at Ticketmaster.com. Or visit Prudential Center box office for seats. It's going to be a great time. And we look forward to seeing you on August 21st. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I also want to take this time, as always, thank our gracious host, the proprietor of the Red Man Cafe and the Global Boxing Gym. I gotta get that right. I keep doing that wrong. Marius Palatnik. Thank you so much, as always, for your wonderful host. We love being with you. And this is a fabulous gym, as you can all see, and make sure you try the bread before you go, because it's really awesome. Before we get to the main event, I'm going to talk a little bit about the undercard. We have two big pro debuts coming up, and we're pretty excited about that, because every time, obviously, every time a really top amateur turns pro, that's a story. We've got two on this card. One is from the Middletown PAL. People from this area may know. His name is Tyrone Lucky. He'll be turning pro against a guy named Larry Yanez. And in the other pro debut, we have a gentleman with us here today. His name is Shem Pagan. Shem, wherever you are, say hello. Shem is a five-time New York Golden Gloves champion. He has held national titles. He has held just about every title you can hold in the amateurs. Highly decorated amateur. We expect great things from him in the future. And he will be making his pro debut against Paul Revere, and we're all looking forward to that very much. We also, unfortunately, are not going to be able to see another one of our big favorites on this card, Adam Kalnacki, who made such a spectacular impression on everyone in July at Prudential Center. Unfortunately, had a terrible basketball misfortune, I'm told. Adam is here. Clearly broke his hand, and he's on the mend, unfortunately, probably till November. We hope to see you back in Prudential Center in November. And stay away from basketball. Okay? Stick to dangerous sports. You're much better off. This show is going to be televised throughout the United States and other parts of the world, actually, on pay-per-view. In addition to the showings in Poland, we're going to be on pay-per-view in most other countries. And also, specifically, big pay-per-view in England and in Australia, in addition to the United States. It's typical pay-per-view. Contact your cable provider or your satellite provider. It's being distributed by Integrated Sports, and we're very happy about that. We want to thank Doug Jacobs from Integrated Sports for all the good work he's done in this event. And on that televised program, we have some really nice fights. Jeremy Bryan from Patterson is here with us. He's 13-1 with 6 knockouts. He is a two-time National Golden Glove champion managed by Pat Lynch. And we're always happy to have Pat in the house, and we're very happy to have Jeremy back. He's had some fine showings already in Prudential Center, and he will be fighting Danny Mitchell from Pittsburgh. And we look forward to that. That will be the beginning of our pay-per-view program, which will begin at 9 o'clock. After that, we're going to see a former 2008 Olympian who's in his last fight made his ESPN debut on July 16th in Prudential Center and had a spectacular showing in what was the toughest fight of his career. Saddam Ali of Brooklyn, who is now 8-0 with 4 knockouts. Saddam is going to be taking on Lenin Arroyo. He is a veteran of 33 fights, and he has gone the distance with Mike Jones and James De La Rosa, who are 2 unbeaten welterweight prospects. So this is going to be another tough test for Saddam. This clearly will be the toughest opponent of his career, and he hasn't let us down yet. We're sure he's not going to let us down this time. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be a great fight to watch, as always when Saddam is in the ring. And then in the co-feature, Joel Julia, who is known as the love child for some reason we can't figure out, from Colombia. He's been with main events a while. He's a fabulous fighter. He has decided to move down from 154 to the 147-pound division, where we believe he's going to be very strong and truly a force to be reckoned with. And so Joel is going to be fighting in the co-feature, which will be a 10-round match against Jamal Davis of Philadelphia. Jamal is 12-6. He's had 5 of his 6 losses against a group of men whose records combined to 51-9-2. He's been stopped once on a cut. The point is, he's one of those guys from Philadelphia whose record may not show how good he really is. So we expect he and Joel to be in a tremendous scrap as well. We've got a good, strong undercard, and those of you who were at Prudential Center in July know how much more fun it is when the card is great. I think we've got that again. So while the party is going on before the Adamek Grant fight, because Lord knows it's pretty much the way I've been seeing it lately. When Tomasz gets in the ring, it's sort of like a big party and then a fight breaks out. So hopefully during the party, everyone will really have a good time and watch these great undercard fights. And moving on to the main event, when Tomasz decided to become a heavyweight, the decision was made that the goal was going to be for him not only to fight for the heavyweight title, because as the former light heavyweight and cruiserweight champion, he certainly, winning titles fighting for titles was all he wanted to do. He certainly accomplished enough of that. But the goal was to move up and not just fight for the heavyweight title, but to win it. And it's clear to everyone that the way for that to happen was for Tomasz to move up to heavyweight and then begin to get experience against fighters who were bigger than him, because that is something he has not experienced before. He has certainly never experienced anyone the size of Michael Grant. And so this is a very, very tough test. Michael Grant is a fine fighter. He has great ability, and we're all very well aware of that. And the decision was made that, again, if Tomasz wants to win the heavyweight title, he's going to have to be able to take on someone like Michael Grant. He's taken a huge risk in doing it. We all know it. We'll be holding our breath on Saturday night as always, but it's, I think, in my mind, a very interesting match. I think the public has agreed with that, and we see the response for tickets. It's going to be another great night. And we couldn't make a nice match like this if we didn't have people to work with who understand the value of making a deal like this, because clearly the winner is going to move on and fight for the heavyweight title. And to that end, we are very blessed to have worked with Nick Marone. He is a fine gentleman, a great promoter up in the Buffalo area, and we are very pleased to be working with him. It's been a pleasure, and so I'm going to introduce for now Nick Marone, and he is going to introduce you to the Michael Grant team.
First of all, thank you very much for everybody being here today. Thank you to Main Events, Ziggy Promotions. August 21st has been a long time in the making for Michael. Michael, a few years ago, told me one of his goals was to become the heavyweight champion of the world. And over the last few